Hi everyone, my name's Ben, and I'm here because I've actually just been looking through YouTube, and I've quite happy to find that there's quite a few people sharing about their experiences with having panic attacks, and yeah, I just wanted to sort of express my gratitude for the people who are doing that. One, just because I know how um, scary it is to kind of admit, and sometimes you kind of go through this thing where you're feeling like, I did, where you just feel completely alone and weak and vulnerable, and it's something you, especially as a guy, you don't really want to share with the world, just because you feel that you're, you're kind of weak. But it takes a certain type of person and a lot of courage to actually come forth and uh, talk about your experiences, and it's really so helpful to people who are suffering from the condition, and which kind of brings me on to um, where I am, because it's only 3 years ago, that 3.5 years ago, that I had my first panic attack, and yeah, I suppose I just want to share my experience about that a little bit and tell you a bit more about my journey, just because it's been one that has been very challenging at times, but I'm very grateful for actually going through um, some of the experiences that I've had, even though they've been particularly unpleasant. I've learned a lot about life, and I kind of felt that I've grown a lot as a person as a result of going through some of these things. So one of the things, so I'll take you back to the first time I had a panic attack, and I was in a pub in London. I was living in London at the time, and it was my ex-girlfriend who was performing that night, and she'd done a couple of gigs before, and it was about a third or fourth gig that she'd done in London. She was just starting out as a musical artist, and doing a few performances in local open mic nights and stuff like that. And I went to support her, and we had quite a few friends there as well, and the pub was fairly busy. So yeah, I went in there, and she was just about to perform, and suddenly I had this wave of tightness come into my chest and my throat, and I started to breathe quite deeply, and just feel very anxious, and it was kind of building up to something. I felt something like it was going to explode, and I didn't know how to handle it. So I went into the toilets, into the men's toilets, and I went into the cubicle inside, and I was inside the toilet for probably about 15-20 minutes, just trying to calm myself down, because I didn't know how to handle it. It was just this intense feeling in my chest, and I having all these thoughts going through my head, and I was kind of freaking out like this, just kind of pulling my hair like that as well, and not knowing what happened to me. I wasn't getting so much a feeling of like I was having a heart attack, which some people do, I think. It was just that this kind of freaking out and these thoughts in my head, and I just felt like I was nothing, and I started crying, and I just didn't know how to cope with it, and I was just stuck there for about 20 minutes, and I knew I had to come out, because people would be thinking, where's he gone? They think me as some kind of druggie doing coke in the toilets or something like that. I wasn't sure how to cope with it, so I had to face the music, and I had to go out and try and pretend nothing was going on, and I think my eyes must have been pretty red as well, because I've been crying for no reason. I'm not really an emotional person, but I just felt the urge to cry, and I was, and all I wanted to do was get home, and I'm sure that my ex-girlfriend, or my girlfriend at the time, probably thought, what's up with you? You should be happy, you should be supporting me and all this kind of stuff, which is what I wanted to do, but I just had these things going on and I couldn't figure it out. And anyway, that was the first point, and it just got worse from there. And then that night I went back home with my girlfriend at the time, and I just had a massive one in my bedroom, and I had a freak out. And then that was the start of it, and then it kind of continually happened over and over, and I came to a point where I couldn't actually, when my girlfriend was, when she had future gigs, I couldn't go to them because I had this thing going on. I wanted to more support her than anything else, but I just couldn't because I knew this stuff would come up. So that's kind of the story, but I'm delighted to say that I'm no longer experiencing anything like this, and that's as a result of making a lot of changes in my life, and because at the time I was taking a lot of drugs and I was working out pretty hard at the gym, and I was drinking a lot of alcohol, and I was working hard as well. And I think basically it's like your body and the chemicals inside your body start to take over, and you just become so overwhelmed. And so basically this is 3.5 years on, and I've done a lot of work into panic and anxiety and trying to understand, just what goes on inside mentally and through our health, and I've come to learn a lot of knowledge about it, and it's just my opportunity to kind of share it now with you. And as you can see, I've posted a web address on this video, and that's literally, and what that is it's a review of an ebook which I started out with by a gentleman called Joe Barry, and it really turned around my panic and anxiety attacks. I completely turned around my life, and I started using some of the techniques, especially the one move technique, which was just so simple, but incredibly it worked, and I just carried on adopting that technique, and eventually I came to a new way of being, and it became natural for me to not have panic and anxiety. So basically I've put this website up in order to help people like myself and anyone who's suffering them now, because I've been doing a lot of research on web forums as well, and I see people suffering from this condition for 12 years and just thinking that they're stuck with it and they're having to survive. And I'm happy to tell you that that's not the case. I've actually interviewed a couple of people recently, and one woman who suffered from anxiety 52 years of her life, and then 6 years of her life for every day she was having panic attacks intensely. And I've actually interviewed this lady, and there's a way on the website, it will show you how you can get hold of that interview. This is basically me wanting to share my story and my knowledge, and I've also written a short 25-page book, and you can get it just by reading the website review on Joe Barry's product, and by investing in that program you can get all the stuff that I've created for free. It's no additional cost. Just leave me some comments on the blog here, and let me know how you're getting on. I want to say well done for getting here, well done for watching this, and thank you for allowing me to share my story and allowing me to help if I can. And I hopefully will see you at the next web video. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.